Hey, you broads, it's your girl, Queen ShanShan from A Broadcast Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. Girls and boys, sit back, relax, enjoy the show, and hunty, tighten up those panties. So, hey girl, hey, it is 2019, and this is your girl, Queen ShanShan, and we are officially back. And when I say we, I mean my co-host, Mr. Edward Carr. Yay!
Hey girl, hey. That's my first one of the year, by the way.
First Hey Girl Hey 2019. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I missed you.
I missed you more.
It seemed like it has been like months since I've seen and talked and spoke to you.
Does.
And this is our 6th episode, Mr. Carr.
Whoa, 6. That's
Sixth
right.
episode, number 6. And this is we're already in January. Well, in January, how was your holidays? And you traveled during the holidays as well. We'll talk about that. But how was your overall holidays and how was your New Year?
Splendid and more splendid.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a good time. I took a road trip. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But I saw family and friends and relatives and that I didn't know I had.
Wow.
Just kidding. I met my baby that I didn't know I had. Just kidding. Remember we talked about that on a prior episode?
That's right.
Yeah.
Missing Edward Carr out there. So missing sperm.
It was a very cathartic journey for me.
Okay.
I liked it.
Okay, we'll talk about that definitely.
Okay.
My holiday was extremely busy from get to get. Ever since, really, let's be honest, until it started Thanksgiving, it has just been nuts. Traveling and lots of excursions and trips and everything. Over the holidays, I was in Cuba. I had a reprieve. Then I went this past weekend to my friend's big 50th birthday celebration on the cruise. It was a 3-day cruise on Carnival.
Who's friends?
My friend Cece. She turned 50.
Okay.
And I've known her for about 25 years now. It's ridiculous.
Wow, that's great.
Long time. And we're good friends. And I'm friends with her family.
Okay.
Like I know all the aunts and the uncles and the grandmas and everything. And there was about 40 people.
Wow.
On the boat for her birthday.
That's
so
a big time.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. I had a great time. And getting back to work.
It was a challenge, right?
My goodness gracious. Just being overwhelmed with emails and being overwhelmed with phone calls. And it's still open enrollment. Like the open enrollment for health insurance ends next week. Ends next Tuesday.
Goodness. Yeah,
January 15th.
People are wanting to get in there and get it done.
Yes. They want to get in and get it, which they should anyway, because it's just everybody needs health insurance. So that's the boring part of my job is insurance. I mean, it's not really that boring, but it is my meat and potatoes right now.
Yeah.
The podcast is my hobby.
Right.
It's my outlet and it's for fun, but I hope to make this a business. I hope to make money from the podcast soon and get sponsorships and people paying to listen to me. But in the meantime, I got to do what I got to do. I got to do the nitty and the gritty.
Girl has got to make a living.
Girl's got to make a living.
That's right.
Girl's got to make a living. So, we talked, so the holidays were good. The New Year's were good. I was invited to, Sean and Elizabeth. They had a little shindig for New Year's. So I just hung out with them for the evening and that was nice and came home.
Okay.
And spent, I think, New Year's Day just catching up on Netflix like I wanted to.
Right.
I slept in and it was awesome.
I was in bed by 9 p.m. on New Year's Eve.
It's right.
I was.
That's what we do.
I was exhausted. And we were in Colorado and Boulder, and it was like cold and freezing, but we were in a great house, and I just wanted to be in bed.
Yeah.
So tired.
Yeah, I was tired too. So it was nice to stay home on New Year's Day, and just start the New Year right. On
a kind of a low note, and then it's okay to end on a bang, like a crescendo through the year.
Okay.
But I like starting like mellow.
Yeah.
You're off kind of like at a slow pace and easing into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just me.
Just you.
Just me.
All right.
Let's talk about food.
Oh my goodness. Our dinner tonight.
The F word.
Food, travel, beauty, and culture. That's what this podcast is about, y'all. And tonight we had really another contender.
It was darn good.
Okay, Postmates come through. Postmates, I hope you do listen to this podcast and become a sponsor, because you know what? You've been used a lot by Queen ShanShan here.
Sure have been.
Hashtag Postmates. We ordered through Postmates and ordered Gabby Mediterranean, which is Greek food, Mediterranean food. OMG.
It was fantastic.
I texted you today. I said, what do you want for our podcast dinner? And you said,
I want something healthy and light.
and I said, okay. And you said, what about some soups?
Yeah.
And I'm like, soups? I was like, that was my reaction. I'm like, soups? And I was thinking, okay, hold on. Where can we get some good hearty soup? So I was on the app on Postmates, and I saw that Gabby, and I ordered Gabby's before. And I saw they have this chicken. It's called JoJo's Chicken Soup.
JoJo's Chicken Soup.
And wasn't it the bomb?
Whoever JoJo is,
Yeah.
she needs
JoJo tore it up.
She's like a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
JoJo cut that chicken neck.
She did.
And put that chicken neck in that soup.
Sure did.
And we just ate it in like 5 seconds.
Put that cilantro or sage or whatever it was cooked
Oh my God, it was so good.
So good.
So we
Highly recommended.
Highly recommended. JoJo's Chicken Soup. We also ordered something called sambusik, and it's like a empanada, like a Greek empanada.
Yeah, a little miniature though, like
Very
no
tiny.
bigger than 2 of your fingers.
It had like stuffed meat and some herbs and spices in it,
right.
and was that bomb?
Bomb.
And then we had just a regular Greek salad.
Greek salad.
So
Great olives.
Gabby's Mediterranean, if you're listening to this podcast, we love your sponsorship. You have great food, and it was hot and piping. The soup was really hot and delicious.
How many
So,
wigs up is that?
I'm going to give that 5 wigs up.
5 wigs up?
5 wigs up.
That is, I don't think it gets any higher than 5 wigs up. Okay, great.
All right, Gabby's.
Thank you, Gabby's.
Okay, so my journey, I've had many journeys, and that was one, like on my Facebook page and Twitter and my Instagram. I thanked 2018 for a banner year for me in traveling.
Amazing. It
I
was.
traveled 13 countries
Good God.
in 12 months.
What?
Yeah, and I even looked at all my vacation time versus my work time, and I am glad to find out I am the second highest producing agent in my region.
Duh.
Okay.
Okay.
For I've been doing this one carrier I worked for the last 10 years, Colonial Life, and I am the second highest ranking agent on our territory.
And the first one probably, the only reason they're ahead of you is probably maybe they didn't take a vacation.
He actually is an actor. He's an actual actor.
Wow.
And he takes more vacation than I do.
Oh, wow. Okay,
and he
then.
goes to Bangladesh and Sri Lanka because he's Sri Lankan. Yeah, he does acting movies in there, and he's an agent just like me.
Ah, okay.
And and he was only $11,000 in premium higher than me.
Higher than you.
That's it.
That's nothing.
$11,000.
That's like one policy.
Oh,
maybe.
that was like one policy. Like literally, that could have been just one policy.
Right,
Seriously.
Right.
So, for all the vacations that I took this year, I still made a good amount of money. I
Yes.
still service my clients well, and I am like the second highest, which is fine. Last year was the first.
What do you think the highest country was for you, ranking wise? Like, what was your favorite?
Oh, and on my travels, ooh,
Just this year.
Yikes. Fiji.
Fiji was. It looked amazing.
Fiji, it's underrated.
Uh-huh.
It is so affordable.
And it's cheap, right?
It's
Yeah,
cheap.
Like a cheap place.
Well, it's not. You can't go to Fiji for $2.
Right, yeah, right.
But for what you get and the service that you get, and the minute you get in this amazing paradise island, I think I spent $2,400 for 9 days.
Didn't you tell me that they have their own ecosystem there?
Yeah, they
economy
do.
There, meaning that they grow their food there. And
Yes, they do.
Their own meats and everything.
They
like that.
do.
So they don't have to import everything. So
Exactly.
It's less.
Yeah, they are a self-sustaining island.
That's great.
Which keeps things low.
Lower, yeah.
It keeps things low. But, they're big meat eaters. Like, just like when going to Cuba, I just went to Cuba. Everyone's a meat eater. No one likes a lot of
Loves that
vegetables.
beef.
That's one thing. That's another bummer. Like, if you're a vegetarian or vegan,
Don't go to Cuba.
woo, honey, don't go to Cuba. Don't go to Fiji.
And if you don't like to smoke, don't go there.
You're gonna have, I'll just say it. I had some healthy bowel movements this time.
That's good though.
You eat a lot of fiber, honey. These people love to eat meat.
Okay.
And Cuba is the same. So we traveled to Cuba. Okay, so yes. So I'm going to say Fiji was my number 1, and Israel is my number 2.
Number 2, okay.
And number 3 is Malta.
Really?
Oh.
Okay.
Malta, you have to go.
The little island.
These are little islands.
Northern.
South
Africa, right?
Well, yeah, northern Africa,
it's like
south.
Straight to
it's like a
Gibraltar,
2-hour ferry ride from Sicily.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Okay. So you guys don't always think of Hawaii. Don't always think of Italy or whatever. Think of these small getaways that are surprisingly affordable, and just action-packed fun.
Yeah.
Adventure.
It sounds amazing.
And let's get into Cuba.
Okay.
So we flew into Cuba the 21st. I flew through United Airlines.
Okay.
And I used a
Direct?
company. It was direct.
To Cuba?
Well, no, I'm sorry. It was not. It was LA to Houston.
Okay.
Houston to Havana.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it. Mm-hmm.
All in all, 7 hours of flying.
Oh, you flew right over me.
Oh.
No, I wasn't on the road yet.
You weren't on the road yet.
Sorry.
So, 3 hour, you know how Houston is, 3 hour to Houston, and then it was a 3 hour flight to Havana. Nothing.
You made your connection.
I made my connection.
No.
We were nervous.
Is it tight?
We were nervous. It was a 45-minute layover.
Okay, got it.
Woo! Me and Mary, my friend Mary.
No time for that good Cajun food from Papado and the Houston airport. Girl.
We were so nervous we were going to be late for our layover that I ordered the little handicap cart to take us, and we could have made it by walking because the terminal was kind of far. It was kind of far. The terminal was kind of far.
It was.
But we were nervous because it was a 45 minutes. So we're like, oh shoot, are we going to make it? So I called. So FYI. United Airlines, thank you. # United Airlines, thanks for accommodating us with a little handicap cart because I was scared. So we got there around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and our fantastic guide, Katie, met us up at the airport. Now, real quick, the experience, we Americans and other international, very popular destinations, we are very spoiled with our TSA. We complain that we're waiting at TSA for maybe a half an hour. Right. How we arrive. Mary, I call her Merry Christmas. That's not her last name. Mary Miller. She was my traveling friend that came with me. And I was so excited and so honored and so grateful that she was my traveling partner. She was really cool. She actually got me together because I was little, what's the word I'm looking for? A little fuzzy brained when I got there. I had so much on my mind before I got on the trip from work and everything.
Lagged and
she reminded me, did I have my passport? She reminded me, do you have this? I left my $350 Bose headphones on the plane. And we were talking about headphones. She reminded me I had to run back to the plane to get them.
Really?
They were on the floor.
You had to go back through security?
I had to. No, thank God. It was when we left the Houston plane. We were right there.
Okay.
And it reminded me about my headphones. She reminded me because we were talking about what we were watching on the movies, whatever. Mm-hmm. And something dinged on me. And I'm like, shoot! I left my headphones in the plane. So I had to run back to the plane, and they let me go get it back on the plane.
Thank God.
You know, those headphones are not cheap.
They sure are.
They're not cheap.
They're proud of them.
Woo! I was scared. So, anyways, Mary was like, she had it going on, and I'm always the one who checks myself and double checks myself and triple checks myself. I am so glad Mary traveled with me because she really had her head straight. And she's like, did you get this? Did you get this? I'm like, oh my God, thank you. So thank you, Mary, for being my partner, my travel partner.
Mary.
Mary. Oh my God, you were so old, 227. Mary.
You got it.
You just again. You're just digging at us again. Good God. Okay, so we got there on 4 o'clock, and Katie and the company we used to travel, you guys, is called Cuban Educational Travel, CET.
They're still using that educational thing.
Yes.
Even though they don't really need to do it anymore, do they?
Yes, they do. You still have to travel, because even United Airlines, we had to do a questionnaire before we bought the ticket. It asked us, are we going for political reasons? Are we going for philanthropic reasons? Are we going for education? Are we going to the betterment of the country?
Okay.
You still have to answer those questions. And we said, I think we used an educational visa, because even the company said we had to pay like $100 for an educational visa to show, because we had to show the people our visa. You just can't you can't just go to Cuba just to go to Cuba.
You can't.
You can't. There's still too many.
That rule was like obliterated
Since
Obama did, because people could go years ago. Still, like a few years ago, Americans could go there on an educational pass or visa.
No,
before he lifted it,
you had to still go through a country. You had to go through Mexico. You had to go through Canada. You had to go through Guatemala or some sort of Central American company.
Really?
You couldn't go through. No, the airlines literally just opened to fly to Cuba a year ago.
Okay, so you had to fly
Delta,
to Canada,
American, United, all these airlines. To go through domestically, you could go through Mexico and other places on American Airlines or whatever to get to Cuba. But now we can go and connect like to Houston or Miami.
So you don't have to leave the country to go to another country.
Right, and that makes it more affordable.
Got it.
Right,
yeah,
but you still have to have a purpose to go.
I see.
You can't just go. I want to go on the beach. You got to show that you're going there for the betterment.
I'm just going to buy Cuban cigars.
No. You got to go for the betterment of the country. Noted. So. Thank you, CET, for giving us this amazing itinerary. And let me just go over. I'm not going to go through everything that we went, but Friday, the minute we got there at the airport, we thought our luggage was lost.
Oh no!
Oh my God!
Just from the Houston?
From when we landed in Havana. There's only 2 baggage claim. You go in, and our plane maybe had 77, 80 people on our plane, United Airlines. But when we got into the terminal to get our bags, oh my God, the place was like ridiculous. Like there were so many people.
Zoo. There were chickens running around.
No, but because the people are very, very, they're poor. A lot of them, the passengers don't own suitcases. Oh. So you have their luggage, their luggage wrapped up in like a saran wrap with a homemade plastic handle. Just imagine a big Ziploc bag. Okay. That's your luggage. Encased maybe in a blanket. That's your luggage, because the people can't afford suitcases.
Wow. That's something to see.
So when you see my purple monster coming through, it's coming. We thought our luggage was lost, but it was like no,
because they don't have a lot of luggage.
Because everything's government owned in Cuba. The airports are owned by the government. The TSA is owned by the government. These people are making 15 kooks a month. So 15 kooks means Cuban pesos. Okay. That's not a lot of money at all.
No, it's not.
Now when toilet paper can actually cost you $10. Wow. These people live in poverty, and I'll get into that in a minute. Okay. So when you are working for the government like that, are you motivated to work your ass off?
Hell no. Nope. They're going to get it all.
Nope. So everyone works on island time.
Wow.
You go from living in Los Angeles, hustle bustle, work for your butt, do what you can to make that money, make that penny, and you're going to now a country that doesn't give an F.
They don't care.
So
they got cars that are from the 50s, right?
They got, honey. Let me get into that in a minute. Okay. So we're waiting for luggage, and me and Mary are thinking, is our luggage lost? Why is it taking so long? It took over an hour for us to get our luggage. Wow. We were seeing people getting their luggage.
That's a lot of candles and bags going by.
And so I went to one of the people in the terminal that works there. They're just like sitting there. They don't care. They're like, we don't know where your luggage is. I'm like, what? And so I was talking to one of these other guys. He was like a tour guide or tour manager. He's like, this is nothing. He's like, one time we had to wait 3.5 hours to get our luggage. I'm like, shut your mouth.
What?
So I will never complain about TSA ever again.
Absolutely.
Never complain.
It could be that.
It could be that. These people are not motivated to. No. The government workers are not motivated to work
harder.
Because they're getting paid. There's no raise. There's no motivation. There's no moral. There's no working morality in terms of I want to do better. They just want to get their money and go.
Right.
So with that being said, if you are an airport worker working the tram or working the luggage, they're just, haphazardly putting your luggage back on the baggage claim if you want to. God. There's no rushing.
Did you feel it slow down there?
Are you freaking
you were,
kidding me?
In another dimension.
Absolutely.
Of time. Yeah.
Absolutely. So we get there. Katie, our amazing tour guide who was with us every day, meets us right when we get off getting our luggage. She gives us a big hug, and we were apologizing left and right, saying we were so sorry. She's like, "What are you apologizing for? I live here. I know what you guys were going through."
Katie sounds so American, but she's Cuban, right?
She's Cuban, and she spoke fluent English.
Good.
And she was our interpreter through the whole trip. Thank God for her. She was great.
Yeah.
So she gave us a little orientation. We were picked up in a 1958 Buick.
See, there you go.
And
big car.
Big, huge car. But still uncomfortable.
Yeah. So
because it's not cushioned to your body like we're used to our bucket seats in our cars.
Safety features.
There's no. What safety features?
Not even a seatbelt.
What seatbelt? When you go into these cars, I can see why people were killed instantly in these cars back in the day, because you had nothing but metal in your dashboard.
Yeah,
so if
metal.
You had a crash, you're dead.
You're dead.
You're decapitated.
Yes.
Who was Jane Mansfield? Mm-hmm. No wonder why she was decapitated in a car accident.
Right
because you died in a 1950s Chevrolet or a Buick, you're done.
You're done.
There's no padding.
No.
There's no airbag.
Not even a seatbelt.
Not even a seatbelt. So, yeah. And the fastest the cars are going are maybe 45 miles an hour.
Right.
So that was our first experience, our taxi. And and our driver, I think his name was Eduardo. And he was really sweet. No, didn't speak a lick of English.
No.
So she's taking us to a hotel, and we stayed at the Hotel Nacional. This hotel is the official site back in the day of mafia meetings in the 1950s. This hotel was built in 1927.
Wow, that's beautiful.
And it's still built in 1927.
Yeah, no time has passed.
Yeah. This hotel, again, owned by the government.
Okay.
It was clean.
Okay.
It still needs a lot of work.
All right.
We're by the Malecon. The hotel was perfectly situated at the end of town, or the most more highfalutin area, if you want to call it, in Havana. And the Malecon is the seawall, which helps prevent some of the flooding. But those waves were hitting the wall at the hotel. It was gorgeous.
Oh, I bet.
It was
you could hear it.
Gorgeous.
Splashing.
Yeah, to splash on the wall and everything. And just a few days before, they actually had a hurricane, and they had a storm, and the streets were flooded. We just missed it. We missed it by a couple of days, thank goodness.
Good.
But it was the annual site of mafia meetings in the 1950s, and the grounds were gorgeous. Our room was me and Mary shared a room the first night, and they still had old furniture. We had a little table for the coffee.
Oh, was the coffee amazing?
I didn't drink it because I stopped drinking coffee.
Stopped drinking coffee.
I had one cup of coffee, and that was enough. And I'm like, because I didn't want to drink coffee on the trip.
Okay.
I just wanted to drink my tea. So, but it's all very dated. Right. When you got to the hotel, it smelled, a little sea-dewy, little mildewy. But you have to. Okay, so I hate to sound elitist. I hate to sound like I am used to having high 5-rated, 4-star rated hotels.
Okay.
And I'm used to, the service. Hi, hello, Miss Langhorne. How are you?
Right.
You don't get that.
You don't get that there.
You don't get that there.
They don't know it. They don't know any better.
They don't know. Well, I don't know if they don't know better. I mean, it's still a historic hotel that there was a wall of celebrities that stayed there, from Cary Grant to I took a picture of it. It was Cary Grant and
like old school
celebrities.
Yeah, okay.
And so it was known back in the day in the 50s because it was, until the embargo, it was a highfalutin 5-star hotel.
Sure, of course.
But it stuck in 1950 something. That hotel.
Time stopped then.
Cuba literally, or Havana, I should say, just got internet 2 weeks ago on their phones.
That is insanity.
They literally just got internets on their phone too.
On their phone 2 weeks ago.
The internets. On the phone. The internet. So we had Wi-Fi in our hotel, if you want to call it.
Right.
But the Wi-Fi, you had to get a card, and you had to get a number assigned to your room, and it would just kick you off every 5 seconds. It was like, it wasn't even worth it.
Right.
It wasn't even
More
worth it.
frustration.
It was more frustrating because you had to put in 10 numbers each time to log in.
No.
I was like, oh God, it was awful. But you know what? It made me and Mary stay off our phones. It made us really
you can
enjoy
step
vacation.
back and enjoy things.
So we got there. We had dinner, and our first evening, we met this family who was an art family, full of the mother and father. It was the Altamira Art Loft, and Adele Bourdon and his family gave us drinks and appetizers, and their whole apartment was full of their own art. Their son is a photographer and a teacher.
Okay.
He is a painter. The daughter is a painter, and the mom is a sculptress.
Big time in the arts there.
When you go to Cuba, the thing that rings out to you first is 3 things: art, music, and food.
Oh, okay.
These are the 3 things that Cuba is known for: is art, music, and food. And then just the people.
Those are my favorite things.
My favorite things.
Wow.
And teachers are worshipped.
That's great.
In this country.
They should be.
They have the most respect, teachers. So when we arrived there on Friday, the next day was Teachers' Day.
Oh, wow.
The whole country
the
country shuts down for teachers.
They should.
They should. We don't even have the respect here for in America for our teachers. My God, UTLA, the United Teacher Association here in Los Angeles, may be going on strike for the next couple days because they're not getting the rate that they deserve, they're asking for smaller class sizes, and they deserve that.
Yeah.
And they don't get the respect. But a country closes down because they respect their teachers so much.
That's amazing.
That says a lot.
Totally. Yay for educators.
Yay for educators. And then after that, Katie took us to dinner at a restaurant called Rio. Well, it wasn't Rio Mar because that was closed due to a flood. But we went to a neighboring restaurant. What was so amazing about that night is that literally the artist family was a block from our hotel. So we just walked. And they lived in this, nice in their world, and this nice condo on the 10th floor.
Okay.
And they had the view of the city and the view of the Malecon. It was awesome.
The Malecon is the seawall.
It's a seawall. The seawall.
Okay, got it.
Next day, we did a walking tour of Old Havana in the Historic Center, and that is actually a UNESCO World Site.
Okay.
So the UNESCO actually said this is a historic site that cannot be, can't have any commercial.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's preserved.
Right.
So we took a good 2-hour walk around town.
Okay.
We had lunch at a. They're all called paladars. And paladar means house, I guess. Mm-hmm. And so all of these homes converted to restaurants because, again, you don't have a lot of money to build your own brick and mortar building.
Got to make do.
You make do.
Mm-hmm.
So every restaurant we went to, I'm not kidding, I think every restaurant we went to in Cuba was a paladar, was a house that turned into a restaurant, and they still live there. So they make the restaurant, it's restaurant with a kitchen, it's separate kitchen, it's bathrooms and everything, that's seating area, and then the back is where the family lives.
They live upstairs.
They live upstairs, or they live downstairs.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so we went to a restaurant called Dona Utamira Paladar, and oh my God, we had these awesome frozen mojitos. Ugh.
Mojitos?
Ugh, my frozen mojitos.
Strong.
Ugh.
Knock you off your ass.
And you know what else knocks you off your ass?
What?
The men. I couldn't believe the man meat I was seeing in Havana.
Really? Like
Edward?
By the truckloads.
Edward, oh my God. I haven't had sex in a while. And I was like, what? I'm down. I'm down for you and you and you. Every man I saw was shining man meat to me.
And they're just doing a net out and just.
And they were also reciprocal.
Wow.
Hello.
Okay.
I was like, hey.
Queen
ShanShan
got ShanShan-y.
I didn't get ShanShan-y. I'm not going to speak for anybody else.
Okay.
Mary, if you're listening to this podcast.
Okay.
But
Mary.
I just did a lot of flirtation. And they were very reciprocal.
They like to flirt back.
Honey, they big old flirters.
Oh, yeah.
I got asked to be married.
Bobby Carnivale?
Yes. I got guys on the street. Hey, you want a Cuban boyfriend? I'm like, sure. They're the men in Cuba are very aggressive.
They are. They seem like they would.
Woo! I mean, you literally have to be like, yeah, easy. You know.
Back
One
down.
guy was in, when we went to one of the club, one guy just yanks me off on the floor and starts dancing with me.
No.
I had my purse in my hand. I was like, easy.
Really? That's hilarious.
But every man wherever we went, they were viral. Am I using the word viral, strong, good-looking men.
Yeah.
And they're packing.
Contained.
They're packing down there.
Packing.
Oh, my God.
Packing. They have their guns ready.
I'm going back.
Oh, I'm sure you are.
So the second day, there was a tour of the town, and then we went to, this was my highlight. This is my biggest highlight. They took us to this studio, this school, where it's called Havana Compass Dance. And it was this school that teaches children how to play instruments and how to dance, and it's free for the children up to ages 18.
Okay.
And it was funded and created by this one guy. His name is Eduardo. I forgot his last name, but he's freaking amazing. He did all the painting and drawings in the studio, and he teaches young children to express themselves.
Okay.
And all they work on is donations and contributions, and so. The school was fantastic, and they gave us like this 45-minute performance just for us. It was just 3 of us in the studio, and they performed 45 minutes for us.
Good God.
I felt like Madonna.
I
feel like Beyonce.
I was going to say, you're like...
You're doing all this for us?
Yeah, just for you.
And you're just hearing 3 people clap?
Amazing.
Oh my God, I couldn't believe, the whole time, Edward, we were treated like princesses. We were treated like queens, okay? So the third day, we did another driving tour of Havana. We went to the old neighborhood of Miramar, another restaurant. We had a cooking lesson at this other Palador restaurant.
Nice.
We went to the next day, which was Monday, went to the famous, it was called the San Cristobal restaurant, and that's where Obama ate 2 years ago.
Okay.
Beyonce was there, lots of celebrities. This really cool restaurant in downtown Havana that's very historical for this one chef. It was pretty cool. And then we took a drive to head down to Trinidad. We spent the day. It took us 4 hours.
It was 4 hours.
So imagine we were in an old taxi. It wasn't that comfortable. Thank God for getting air conditioning. Had air conditioning.
It didn't have AC. Okay, good.
It was a Peugeot.
A Peugeot? Girl. French. The French in Cuba.
When is the last time you saw a Peugeot?
Since the 80s.
Since
probably.
the 80s. And that's how old this car was. It was like in the 80s.
In the 80s.
But thank God it had air conditioning.
Okay.
It took us and the driver. Oh my God.
Did he stink? Tell me he didn't stink.
No.
Okay.
He was an Adonis.
Oh, he was an Adonis.
He was an Adonis.
So you're like, okay.
He was 49 years old. He looked like he stepped right out of a movie screen. He had his thighs, his chest, his arms,
beautiful.
His face chiseled.
So you're like...
Shy as all get.
Really?
Shy and super humble, and he knew I was drooling over him.
Wow.
I was drooling over him.
Wow.
I was like, I'll have your babies. Okay.
If you don't already have some,
he showed me a picture.
You.
He showed me a picture of his son. Oh my God.
Lord have mercy.
Lord have mercy.
Your chops were just chomping.
Good
right?
God. I just come on, Cuba. Come on. It was ridiculous, this man. I mean, I have all pictures of it, of him, and he took a picture. He gave me a kiss.
Oh, he did?
Oh, he was so sweet.
Oh.
I know.
What was his name? Adonis?
Jose.
Jose.
Of
course it's Jose.
So we went to Cienfuegos, which was on the way to Trinidad, and we had lunch there. But we didn't want to spend too much time. We just wanted to get to Trinidad because this is a long day.
Far. Mm-hmm.
So
it's like at the other end of the island, right?
Yes, 4 hours. It's southeast of Cuba.
Wow.
And so we go there, and I didn't realize, and Mary, who again was on top of the game on this trip, I guess I didn't read the full itinerary. I didn't realize that we were staying in a family's home. I read it, but I didn't read it.
So it was like an Airbnb with the family at home. And not, okay.
It wasn't my own Airbnb. And I was
shared space.
I was thinking it was my own Airbnb.
How funny.
Oh my God. Talk about culture shock.
And
first of all, Trinidad is a 200-year-old, or more than actually 200-year-old town that was just recently also declared a UNESCO spot in 1999. Very poor.
Very,
very poor.
Wow.
But it's very touristy because people want to visit there because of the cobblestones. All the painted buildings are your bright blues and pinks and oranges
that
and
typical,
reds.
like what you would think
It's
in
kind of
Cuban
cool.
art. Okay.
Yeah. And the restaurants are all paladores as well.
Oh, okay, cool.
We when we arrived there, the family was so nice, but I had to get my own place because Mary's room and my room together was so small. I'm like, oh, I need my own room. And so
what'd you do?
Katie was on our tour guide. I'm telling you, she was amazing. She was on the phone trying to get my own place, and she got literally another house, another family. Because in Trinidad, you're known to you don't stay in hotels.
Okay.
You're renting homes.
What?
Yeah, because they don't have hotels there. There's only one hotel in town.
Whoa.
And it was $375 a night.
Bye.
I'm not spending that. So she had so many hookups, Katie. So she called 2 or 3 other people who were also renting out their homes, and one had a place for me 2 doors down from where we were staying originally.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord. So I had my own bathroom, my own bedroom.
Okay.
It was an upstairs home from another family who was generous to give me my space for 3 nights, and it was fine. And then it was clean. Thank God. All I care about is my own pooper, and it's clean.
Yeah,
I need my own
that's about
shitter.
really all I care about too.
I need my mirror,
Just let me-
my own bed, and my own shitter,
Me
and
too.
I'm good.
Girl, I'm the same way.
I'm good. If that's a diva life, I guess it's a diva life.
Then I'm a diva.
But they were so nice. The family, they don't have a lot.
Yeah.
These families don't have a lot.
Paid like a lot of their year salary just in.
Yeah, but the houses are huge.
Are they big?
They go forever in the back. You have your living room, your standard living room. Then it has your family room. Then you have your kitchen area. Because it's so hot in Trinidad, or it's hot period in Cuba. Everybody has outside kitchens.
Oh, they do?
Yeah. So the rain comes into where it drains out from the roof, and then you cook. Everybody cooks outside. It's too hot.
Really?
They can't afford air conditioning.
Oh my gosh.
So
that makes
only
sense,
certain
then.
rooms have like a swamp cooler to keep their bedrooms cool. And my own room had an air conditioner as well.
Okay.
But you don't air condition the whole home house. They
No,
can't afford it.
can't afford it.
They can't afford that.
Yeah.
So the kitchens are outside. The stoves are inside a regular type of alcove.
Okay.
But you eat outside. Because you want to eat outside. Mary's house where she stayed had a terrace. I had a terrace. That was kind of cool.
And so it smells good everywhere you go.
Are you kidding me?
It smells like food everywhere.
So one thing I definitely missed, and I'm sure Mary can atone to this, is no matter where you were in Cuba, you woke up with music in your ear.
Oh, that's great.
You go to breakfast with music in your ear.
Oh, nice.
You go to lunch with music in your ear. And you go to bed with music in your ear.
Oh my God, I'd love this.
There's
country.
always someone singing.
Oh, wow.
There's always music playing in the background.
Love
And
that.
there's always people talking and laughing.
That's great. And it's a poor country.
It's the poorest country. But these people are prideful in their poverty because all they care about is food and shelter and family.
That's
all they care about.
That's a good takeaway.
It's a very good takeaway. We were treated like queens. We were definitely recognized, especially with my wigs, my makeup. Are you kidding me? People thought I was a celebrity and they thought I was somebody there.
Okay.
We went to the beach a couple of days in Trinidad, which was glorious. The water was fantastic. We were served beer and snacks, and the families who gave us our breakfasts. The breakfasts weren't that extravagant, but they were what we needed to sustain. We had eggs and toast, and we had some fruit on the side, and that was it. That was our breakfast.
That's all you need, though, right?
That's all you need.
In the end.
And that was fine.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we went out to lunch in restaurants and had our dinners that were prepared for us in restaurants. But Trinidad actually made me a little bit more humble. I got there.
Like it.
I had an attitude when I got there because I wasn't expecting what I was expecting.
Right.
I was expecting this highfalutin mansion. God,
You didn't get that.
Honey, Shannon was shut down.
No, huh?
I was shut down.
That's a reality check.
Yeah. So overall, we got back to Havana, stayed another night, and then we left. And then we went to some other art galleries, went to some other museums. We had a museum tour in Trinidad. My takeaway from the whole entire thing, and I'm going to have a blog post on my new website, by the way, soon once I sit down and write about it. My whole takeaway is that I had to manage my expectations.
You did. You had to put yourself in check.
I had to put myself in check.
You were like, you got there and you're like, whoa,
I was
up.
Not expecting it.
Really?
At all. I'm going to be honest with you, Edward. I was like, what am I doing here?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
But it grew on me.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It grew on me. One night we went to a couple clubs in Trinidad, and we were sitting there for hours just listening to the music and people singing and dancing, and they loved it.
Yeah.
And it grew on me.
It was just so different than what you're used to.
Oh God, it was so different. But I highly recommend it.
Yeah, good.
Now I recommend Cuba.
Now you recommend Cuba.
Oh, heck yeah, I do. And it's going to get even better. It's just at a slow pace right now with the economy.
Yeah.
Trump closed the U.S. Embassy 8 months ago, so no one can really travel to the U.S. if you don't have a visa that's more than 2 years old.
Oh, I didn't. That doesn't surprise me.
I know. Oh, God. If they're having a hard time right now.
I bet.
But they just got internet on their phones. So that's a little bit.
That is a major step forward.
For them,
yeah.
That is like 10 years in the making.
Yeah, that's like, wow.
Yeah. So,
something we've had.
Takeaways, go to
something
Cuba.
that we take for granted.
We totally take it for granted. Are you kidding me?
We just walk around staring at our phones and like.
When we got back to Houston, my phone's blasting and blowing up with internet and blowing up with text messages, blowing up with emails and Facebook stuff and Twitter stuff and stuff about my podcast, everything. I was like, oh my God, is this my reality?
Yes,
it was my reality because I did not get that in Cuba. It was when you don't have enough internet and cell phone space a week. It's so different.
So different.
So
I'm humbled. Your life.
I was humbled.
Yeah, that's a good takeaway. Thank you for sharing that story.
So talk about you and your man's road trip.
Okay, so yeah, I left town December 22nd, the morning of December 22nd at about 7:30 in the morning. I left Los Angeles and I was in Texas, the very far side of Texas, by the way. The last town on the 10 before you leave Texas into Louisiana. I was at her house in her driveway, parked by 3 p.m. the next day. So I drove all through the night. I stopped twice, actually. I stopped at a rest area for 3 hours and slept. And then I got up and then I drove another 2 hours and then I stopped and slept another 2 hours at another
Good Lord.
picnic area. It wasn't even a rest area; it was a picnic area, and I chose it because it was completely dark.
Ooh,
I was like,
I would have been scared.
It was a little scary. I'm not gonna say not gonna lie because there was a trucker behind me, and I could see
he was thinking you were doing little
probably so
little glory hole.
You'd be like,
glory hole pit stop.
I'm like, go away! I'm trying to sleep. No, that didn't happen, but. I woke up, like I said, I slept 2 hours, and that guy that was behind me left. The truck stopped right next to my car, and my new SUV, as I
Which
should
you
say.
love. You bought your Audi SUV.
I got my Audi SUV.
What was the model?
Q5.
Good for you.
So beautiful.
Good for you.
It
Congratulations.
treated me really well and performed well on this trip.
Yay.
But it pulled up next to my car, and I was like, my eyes flew open, right? I was like, oh my gosh, this guy's gonna kill me.
Oh,
and all the new cars have that push button thing that you just hit and go. I'm like, girl, I'm gonna push that button. I'm gonna fly on out of here. But he crept off. It was like something from a horror film. He crept off slowly. And so I at a power seat, and I sort of raised my seat up a little bit so I could see him taking off down the way to get on the freeway.
He walked by your car?
No,
or
he was in his truck.
Oh, okay.
And then at the very end, right before he merges to get on the freeway back onto the 10, he stopped again, and I saw the backup lights come on. I was like, holy shit, this guy is coming to chop me up. I put my seat in the upright position, clicked that car on, and I was ready, girl. But he put it back in drive, and he got it on the freeway. So I was like, thank God.
Thank God.
So
Thanks God.
Thanks God. So I waited 10 minutes, and then I got on the road. I'm sure I passed him at 90 miles an hour at some point, but because I was hauling butt to get there. But I got to my sister's at 3:00 that day. My man met me on the 27th, and then we went to New Orleans for a trip for a night. He had never been.
Okay.
And so it was literally a 15-hour we drove there and drove back in 15 hours, but we got really wasted.
Okay. As you should in New Orleans.
Not really that bad. We're grown-ups, so we can't do that.
You were throwing up in the streets.
No, nothing like that. Nothing like throwing up.
That's totally accepted in New Orleans.
Absolutely.
So gross.
One of my very good friends from elementary school lives in lives in New Orleans, and so I connected with her while I was there. Had not seen her in 32 years.
Wow.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
I told you about the podcast. But so we met up. We went to this really nice restaurant. Her husband is a jazz musician.
Cool.
And we went and saw him play that evening. So it was really kind of a magical evening. It was on at the Hotel Monteleone.
Okay.
I believe is where it was at the Carousel. That's
a cool hotel. Yeah, that's where Girls Trip was actually
That's
filmed.
where it was filmed. We were in that lounge. Like
and that place
the couch
cool.
was like I sat on that couch.
Oh, how cool.
It's fantastic.
That's
it was
awesome.
really great. So we did that, and then we went home. We actually went to the hotel, slept for a few hours, and drove back to my sister's. Regrouped, and then got on the road to Colorado.
Okay.
Colorado, we stayed 2 nights in Boulder, and then we went to Utah, stayed a night at Bryce Canyon.
Beautiful.
And then drove down to Zion.
Beautiful.
Drove through there, and then we drove our asses to Las Vegas.
Was it freezing?
Freezing.
Freezing in Utah.
I was so Colorado, the coldest.
Okay.
Utah, cold.
Okay.
And then we finally, coming out of Zion, coming back down to a lower altitude, getting into Vegas. We finally got out of the snow and everything like that. So we actually stayed in Vegas for one night.
Where'd you stay in Vegas?
We stayed at the MGM.
Okay, good. Very good. I love that hotel.
It was nice. It's
very nice.
We upgraded and got a jacuzzi suite.
Nice.
Big. And all the while, on this entire road trip, we had a dog. We got a new puppy.
Congratulations!
So, yeah.
You got a new baby.
He's fantastic. He's thank you.
What's his name?
His name is Bumblebee. That's 2 words, Bumble and then Bee.
Aww.
So we, just want to break it up and make 2 words out of it instead of 1.
You adopted him in Texas?
We adopted him in Texas.
Okay.
My sister-in-law has a pet adoption agency. It's called
That's
Anna's Angels on Facebook.
Okay.
So,
what is it called again?
Anna's Angels.
Anna's Angels in Texas. We're in Texas.
Lumberton, Texas.
Lumberton?
Like Lumberton, like wood, lumber. Lumberton, Texas.
And that's the East Texas.
That's southeast Texas.
Southeast Texas.
Like about an hour from Houston.
And so you can adopt doggies there.
Yeah, so we adopted Bumblebee from Texas.
Cute.
And he's our child now.
Congratulations.
Yes, it was great. It was a really fun
And he's a good
trip.
doggy.
Oh, he's a puppy, but he's good. Being trained at the moment.
Yes.
But he's about 6 or 7 months old, so he's not just a puppy, like fresh off the tit or anything.
Yeah.
But he's like a teenage boy.
Okay.
Like a rowdy and rambunctious. So fun. So fun. I can't wait for you to meet him. Aww. Yeah. So the trip was amazing.
Good. And that was your first road trip with your man?
That was my first road trip with my man, and it went well. We kind of had a little accident. We drove from my sister's house straight through, almost got to Amarillo, but we couldn't drive any further, so we took a little siesta for 3 hours at a roadside thing, and woke up 3 hours later and then got back on the road, and I leaned in to like, good morning, peck on the cheek, and his glasses stabbed my eye.
Ouch.
Yeah, and so it was really bad. So I thought oh my gosh, what's going to happen?
Ooh.
I couldn't hold my eye open. And so we had to go to the ER in Amarillo.
What?
Yeah, I went to this Amarillo hospital, but it was just an ER. It wasn't a hospital, so it was
urgent
fantastic. It wasn't. It was a step up from urgent care.
Okay.
It's like a really advanced urgent care. Shout out to this place. It was called Neighbors something or the other in Amarillo, Texas, and they took care of me, real good care of me. They put this dye in my eye, and they did confirm that I had 2 corneal abrasions.
Stop it.
Yes. And so I had to get an antibiotic and some pain meds.
Oh my God. Well, they got it and stick anything else in your eye.
No, thank God, right?
Yikes.
But it was better in 3 days. The next day it was better, and then it just progressively
Did it look like your boyfriend beat you up?
It just looked like I had a really bad hangover.
Okay.
But it wasn't a direct hit in my eye. It was on the side of my eye.
If there's a
thank
problem,
God.
let me know now, Edward.
Yeah, okay. Where are you? Can't see you. No. No, there's no problem.
Okay.
What are you talking about? What do you mean? No,
that was the cupboard. It was the cupboard. It was a glass that hit you in the face, right? Okay.
Exactly. No, that's the truth. I mean, it's you can't make this shit up. Right? I'm like, how did we? We're such crazies. It was 6 a.m, so it was just yeah.
Well, there's your story for your trip, right? That was our
little accident.
There's your accident.
An unfortunate incident.
Well, I'm so glad you're back, and thanks for being here.
Thank you
on the first official show for 2018. Even though the podcast I talked about my friend's book, Robin. And everybody's actually liking that podcast, actually. Want to say again, congratulations, Robin, on your new book, Fly Girl. And it's a really good read. You should read it.
I was listening to the interview on the way over.
It's really good.
We'll finish it tonight or tomorrow.
It's really good. So, is it time? It's time for that commercial break. And you know what? I got my nails done. You know where I got my nails done this
Where
weekend?
did you get them done?
Summit Nail Bar, and my girl Brenda DeAlba, she always hooks me up. If you want great stunning nails, contact Brenda on Instagram at Brenda DEALBA _ or text her at 562-291-9062. Again, her phone number is 562-291-9062. Call Brenda to get you hooked up for your nails, hon. So, coming back to the way of life and back to the grind, we, of course, are big, huge moviegoers.
We are.
And this weekend we saw the Golden Globes. And just to recap, what are your surprises and what are your... I knew this was going to happen. And what are your disappointments on the Golden Globes? Because I have a couple.
Oh, wow. Okay, so I didn't really have any disappointments, believe it or not.
Okay.
Because as I said on the very first or second podcast, and I know this isn't the Academy Awards, so don't go crazy, people. I told you that Glenn Close was going to win an Academy Award finally, right? My money's on Glenn.
Yeah.
And all my naysayer friends were like, nah, too little of a movie, blah, 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 blah. She's not going to win. Well, girl, she won the Golden Globe.
Yeah, she did.
And some people say, well, you can buy one of those. I'm going to tell you what.
Really?
They're not going to buy one of those for her because she doesn't need to have it bought.
First of all, with her amazing, stunning career.
She's kind of has a stellar career, right?
Yes, she
does.
does.
So that wasn't a surprise to me with Glenn Close winning. But for so many people, it was because everybody in the world must have saw a different movie than I saw for A Star Is Born because I don't know why it got all that hype. Lady Gaga, love her, but you're not an actress. Glenn Close is a actress, like probably the second best actress of our time.
Ooh, honey.
Third or fourth or fifth.
Lady Gaga is a performer.
She is a performer.
She's a great singer.
She can get down
she's a
like
great
no
musician.
other. Yes,
but with the acting,
no tea, no shade here.
No tea, no shade.
All.
She got the nom.
She got the nom.
She may get a nom for Oscar too.
And she will get the nod for Oscar.
You think Lady Gaga will get the nomination for Oscar?
Yep, but she won't win. Glenn will win, or Olivia Colman will win. But it warmed my heart because I was just like, it's kind of nice when you have some validation.
I know, right?
Not that I just know it in my bones that she was going to win the
Wife was a great movie. What we're talking about, Glenn Close, she won for Best Actress for The Wife, and it was a stunning performance, and it's a heartbreaking story that I think I have lived with because my mom has always kowtowed and made sure that she was the wife to be with my dad. And can you relate to it too as well?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
For sure. Like, growing up, being our age and seeing our parents, our mothers, have to not sacrifice everything for the good of their husband's career or their kid's career or their kids in general. Right. I was like, we can
relate to that story.
Yeah, totally.
So definitely watch The Wife. I liked it. I watched it on the plane. I am shocked about Mahershala Ali, who won Best Actor for Green Book.
Right.
Because I, first of all, I never even heard of the movie Green Book.
Oh, yeah.
But good for him. This is his second win. So this man is moving up in the world. So I would be stoked that he's also nominated for the Oscar. I was very excited that Rami Malek also won for Bohemian Rhapsody.
Again, not a surprise, and I think he was the favorite just by like a hair or two. But the movie itself, Bohemian Rhapsody, which won beat A Star Is Born, was like the icing on the cake for me. It was just like I literally jumped out of my bed. I did.
It was such a good movie. The dog started barking
because everything fell.
It was such a good movie. And then Regina won also for Best Actress as well. And a motion picture. Supporting actress, I should say. She won for supporting actress. And I, again, haven't seen it, but I got to see it. I heard it's another heart-wrenching movie to watch.
It'll get you right there.
Mary Poppins got no recognition.
None. No love.
No love.
Yeah.
It's just a fun movie, I guess.
Just a good movie to see.
Just a good movie to see. And I was actually shocked that Alfonso Cuarón won for best director.
He did.
Not just for a foreign movie,
Best
but
director.
period.
Yeah.
So have you seen Roma on Netflix yet?
I haven't.
You gotta watch it.
I want to see it. I have dyslexia, so it's hard for me to read subtitle shows.
Oh.
And so I have to stop it. But,
It's because it's so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to see it. What was the one he won? He also won. Oh, wait a minute.
He
Let's
won
talk
foreign
about-
picture too.
He wrote it, directed it, edited it.
Yes. But he's done a lot
all
of
of
that
it.
for other movies too.
All
He's
of that,
like phenomenal.
Yeah, he's
phenomenal.
So he won best screenplay. I think it won that too.
For screenplay? No,
it? No?
screenplay. It was Green Book.
Oh, it was Green Book.
Green
Okay,
Book
got
for
it.
motion picture won that,
Okay.
and then supporting actress Patricia Clarkson, of course, for Sharp Objects.
No.
I
Oh,
screamed.
did she win?
She won.
Oh, I did not know
She
that.
screamed for supporting actress in Sharp
Ah.
Objects, which is highly deserved.
And Amy didn't win. I was so disappointed.
I know.
And how did Sharp Objects not win?
How did Sharp Objects not win?
I mean, I was just like, boo on that, boo to that. But
Boo. Well, why
know.
do you say boo when your show won Versace?
I don't know.
Because you love Versace.
I said it was going to win.
And Darren Criss
Yeah.
won for actor in a
assassination.
miniseries, the assassination of Gianni Versace.
Mm-hmm.
That won the miniseries TV film that beat Sharp Objects.
That's the one that beat it.
Yeah.
If it would have been in a different category as just probably a series, it may have won.
And then the movie, this show with Michael Douglas is getting all kinds of recognition. The Kaminsky,
the Kaminsky method.
method.
Yes.
I've watched it a couple times. It's fun. It's cute.
Right?
I don't know if it deserves all this accolades. What do you think?
I can't comment on that for
you haven't
professional
watched it.
reasons.
Oh!
So
Oopsies.
Yeah,
Okay.
I still have to watch it though.
You still have to watch it, and I was really happy that Carol Burnett accepted her
First award for herself.
for herself.
Yeah, is that a real thing? I never could
the
figure it
Carol
out.
Burnett Award for,
Yeah.
and she was the first. Of course, she wins it.
Of course she wins it.
But it's like the Cecil B. DeMille
Right,
Award,
so it'll be
whatever,
like that.
for her lifetime achievements.
Right.
So
Wow.
So we have to come to a close, but quickly. But before we do, you're going to say what happened on this day because it's very actually apropos historically. What was the historical phenomenon or significance of today? Because we're dealing with this very frustrating subject in 2018, which is quite depressing.
About the borders and the
Yes.
wall and then all of that Trump
So
stuff that's
stupid.
shut down the government.
What happened in this day, back in the day?
Okay,
Edward?
so back in the day, this day in history, 1915, Pancho Villa signs a treaty with the United States halting border conflicts.
Isn't that interesting?
Halting them.
Halting border conflicts.
Yeah.
Not encouraging border conflicts, not building a wall.
But halting them.
And we are in 2018 where I can't even get to it because I can't even get all political.
I'm so angry about it. I just can't even talk about it right now.
You
Honestly.
got 400,000 employees not working who are trying
Yeah.
to feed their families
Yep.
because our president is acting like a spoiled brat right
Yeah.
now.
And
Don't even get me started. I can't even get started.
Yeah,
I can't even get started.
We'll talk
This
about
is
that later.
2018, and that was dated 1915. So over
1915.
13 years,
104 years ago.
104 years ago,
Yeah.
we're still dealing with this
We're still
crap.
dealing with it. Still dealing with it.
It's so embarrassing.
Oh my goodness. In
so embarrassing.
1924, Ford Motor Company stock is valued at nearly $1 billion.
Isn't that crazy?
$1 billion.
Hello, they were the first commercialized car.
Yeah, that's.
Well, I shouldn't say commercial because I don't know if it was Ford or was it. No, Chevrolet was in the 1930s, I think.
Chevrolet was later. Yeah,
Later.
for sure.
So Ford was the first commercial manufacturer
I think
in
it
the
was,
United
yeah.
States. Okay, well that makes sense.
Mass-produced car, the
That
Model
makes-
T.
That's right, the Model T.
The Model
Look
T.
at us. Woo, we are getting
Very
we're
nice.
getting some history in here.
Telling you what. And let's jump way ahead here and go to 2007. This date in 2007.
Yes.
Steve Jobs, the CEO of Apple, unveils the first iPhone,
And really,
changing the
world. He changed the world with
Changed
the
the
damn
world.
iPhone. Because you know why that commercial was so stellar? I remember
So
that
stellar.
commercial with the people dancing with the white earphone, earphone wires coming through the phone.
Yeah.
Because we were used to our CD Walkmans.
Exactly.
God, I'm old. We're old. Our Sony
That was
Walkmans.
the iPods and then the iPhone and
Yeah, that was the iPhone and iPad. That's right.
Yeah.
What 2007 was iPhone or iPod?
iPhone. 2007 was the iPhone.
So it
but they
was-
still had those. They still had the same.
Yeah, and I remember that iconic U2
Yeah.
commercial.
Absolutely.
And everyone was like, "What is this?"
What is this? And I tell you what. Okay, so that was in January, of course, of 2007. So it didn't come out until July, and I was one of the first adopters of it. I got it the weekend it
You were
came
in
out.
line.
I was not in line. I'd gone to the movie to see something that weekend, and
You remember buying your first iPhone?
yeah, I remember buying my first iPhone, and I was like, I just want to go look at it. Let's go in and look at it. And so we went in at Century City and looked
Okay.
at the Apple Store, and I was like, yeah, because I was going to hold off. I was like, yeah, I got to have one. And so I bought one right there.
And what was the price? Do you remember?
It was $3.99,
and it was still astronomical.
It was
for
$3.99. Yeah, $3.99.
Who ever heard of paying $399 for a cell phone?
And they were sold out of the bigger one, which was like, well, I don't remember it's like 16 gigs or something like that, or
16
maybe
gigs.
8 or something
That's
like that.
hilarious.
So I had to get the lower model, which
That's
was like
hilarious.
4 gigs or 8 gigs, whatever it was. And
16 gigs was the highest at that time.
Isn't
And
that
now
crazy?
what is it now?
Mine has at 256.
256.
Yeah.
Isn't that insane?
It's crazy.
Time
but
is just
literally
crazy.
changed the world.
Yeah.
We can say that changed everything because people weren't walking around on their phones at that point, staring at the screen like zombies.
Yeah.
It changed it for the better and for the worse, but we didn't have Uber, we didn't have Postmates. We wouldn't have any of that stuff without the iPhone.
Yeah, you're right. Thanks, Steve Jobs.
Thank you, Steve Jobs. Rest in peace,
Rest
dude.
in peace.
You're good.
So, we came with a bang, 2019, our first official podcast. Thank you again, my amazing co-host, Edward Carr.
Well, thank you for having me back.
And we have a brand new website. It's abroadproductions.com. Check out our new official website where all the podcasts, my blog will be actually featured on there when I start writing on the dang blog, and just other information, updated information, and a newsletter, all kinds of things. This 2019 is looking up. Thanks again, broads. I love you. Until next week, hunties. We'll see you soon from abroad. At this point, I want to say thank you to my broads and future broads. You can find me on Instagram at Queen ShanShan, Twitter at _broad_prod, on Facebook at Abroad Productions, that's one word. You can also email me for sponsorship opportunities at abroadproductions@gmail.com. Tune in next week for a brand new show with sizzling topics, new tea, and a new perspective from abroad.